It's very simple. We're passionate about what we do and why we do it. When you open a business, when you're a new professional, when you have a new practice, when you're involved with an association, you have to be passionate about what you do. And so we try to take that passion that you have as a business owner and that passion that we have as bankers to create solutions for you, to provide communication, to provide a relationship that really helps you do what you want to do. So Thurston First Bank takes that passion as a real tool for doing what we do and why we do it.
Well, I originally went to Thurston First Bank because I knew Sakal Meese, and banks obviously are developed relationships, and the relationships are extremely important, so that relationship is what brought me to Thurston First Bank. And I think we continue to use Thurston First Bank because we've been happy with how their services are and how they've functioned with us. They're small like we are, they're local like we are, they're friendly like we are, and ultimately they perform like we do, so that's why we've gone to them and we're happy with them.
Well, there are a lot of good choices in the community. Community banking to me is someplace where everybody should be banking, just because there isn't a check-off sheet that somebody has to go through and some mindless question requirements that the big banks have right now. And the customer service at the bigger banks is far less than the community banks. Community banks, you're more like family, you're more like somebody that really has a desire for services. I need some help, I need some answers, I need some solutions, and that's what community banking provides.
And last week, the president stopped in just to check in how it was going. We're taking advantage of, or we're using the mobile branch. They come and pick up our deposits, and the president was stopping in just to see how it was going, seeing if they could do anything better, if we needed anything, and that was really nice. So.
Yeah, I've banked with another bank that has about 8,000 branches across the country, and I think I've gone through 5 or 6 bank managers there, and I only remember one of them ever coming into our store. They don't even know where my business is. Thurston First Bank, the people know me, they come in the store, they shop with us, they're invested in downtown, and that's important to us.
How we get out and service our clients is the clients meeting with us, and we go out to their business. Sometimes they come to us, sometimes they actually want to get out of their office and out of the environment that they're working in and come meet with us, but more times than not, we go to their business and we see their challenges. Maybe they're challenged with space or with the efficiencies of their business, and so we go out and see them in their environment.
We were very excited to work with Thurston First Bank. We're about reflecting the fingerprints of the entire community through our facility and our programming, and working with a local bank to finance this exciting project for our community was exactly what we wanted to do. What was important about Thurston First Bank is that they were able to look and think outside the box. This was a complex public-private partnership project, and we needed a finance partner that was really willing to think differently. And we couldn't have picked a better partner to do that with than Thurston First.
When we first started looking at this location, we were approached by Thurston First Bank about potentially financing our project, which was pretty exciting to us because we had only had experience with a smaller restaurant. It's a busy restaurant, but it's small, and to have a bank approach you about financing your project was just kind of like, wow, I don't think that really happens in real life. Unfortunately, due to conflict of interest, it didn't work out that they were able to be our lender, but we're still really excited in having partnerships with them into the future. We both share the same values and a very similar vision for downtown. And so I think that working together, we can do some pretty exciting things still being neighbors.
Well, you never know what the future holds, but as far as we can see, it appears to us that Thurston First will remain a Thurston County oriented and community bank. We like that. We are a mid to small size company, family owned and operated, and it seems to me those two align fairly well together. We are very attracted to locally owned institutions where we can know somebody by name and we don't get shoved around to department. It's nice having a voice on the other end of the line. If there are challenges, everybody does things online, computers, but there is nothing that can replace, at times, the value of a relationship on the other side of the telephone line, which we fully get at Thurston First Bank.
Our philosophy and what we do tends to be focused on local people and local businesses, and Thurston First was a true local bank, and we just chose them. And I did know, because I have lived in Olympia for a long time, I did know a few of the people who were instrumental in starting the bank, and knew them as people of integrity and honesty. And at this point, there was no structure, there was no, I think it was just an idea. But I knew that these were people who could be trusted.
Because we're passionate about what we do. Simple as that. And if you're a business owner, or if you're a professional, or if you're involved in some type of nonprofit, you're going to be passionate about what you do. And we as bankers are passionate about what we do. It's as simple as that.
Sometimes it might be considered by chance, by luck. I don't believe that. If you believe passionately in something, you tend to attract others who feel likewise. In this particular case, Jim Haley, Thurston First Bank, they have a passion for investing in downtown Olympia, ergo their location of their new office. They could have easily gone elsewhere, but they didn't. They chose to invest in the restoration of a wonderful building in downtown Olympia, which happens to be our passion. And so when you combine that, good things happen. And I believe that's the case here. And they have a vision for the future as well. They don't intend to stop here. They would like to invest in other projects in the community. Well, I'm going to share that story because it's good for our community. And as we develop projects, again, one at a time, they become comparables for other future projects. We need local comps. You can think of it in terms of the homes that we buy. Well, it's the same in commercial real estate. We need local success stories. Well, one project at a time, and all of a sudden we have local comps, and other banks or Thurston First Bank, it makes it easier for them to invest in other projects. So we're not stopping here. We're already looking and working on, coincidentally, other projects right now.
So you might be able to tell, when it comes to banking, I bleed community banking. But when it comes to Thurston First Bank individually, what you get here are people that are truly interested in providing services, asking the right questions, those that are relevant questions, and they try to understand your business and try to be a partner in the business as opposed to an order taker. And I think that sets us apart. When you walk into our lobby, what you have is almost a member of our family greeting you. And so we try to spend as much time as we can to get to know you. And I think that helps us deliver our products for solutions for businesses in the community.
Well, what attracted Thomas Architecture Studio to Olympia, I began my career almost 40 years ago right here in downtown Olympia, and with a side trip to Boston for many years, Tacoma, a large firm in Tacoma for many years, and I came back for the last portion of my career right here to Olympia where I started. There's a wonderful richness to the historic buildings in downtown. There's a great deal of natural beauty to downtown Olympia, yet it's not fully realized, not fully capitalized. And with my experience in these other communities, I felt like we had a lot to offer downtown Olympia. And with that being our primary focus, what can we do to better our community? We are absolutely loving this, and now having an opportunity to work on buildings, historic buildings in our downtown is just a dream come true. And we're feeling like we're just at the very beginning of helping to be a change maker. We're one of many, but being able to influence the actual improvement of downtown Olympia.
I had a wonderful conversation with somebody that came in and talked to me at the bank the other day. And that person said that the bank had done more in the last 2 years than a number of people have tried to do in the last 2 decades. So what we've done is we've expanded our business model from the high level of service that we provide to businesses to individuals. That high level of service also involves smartphone technology. We include a lot of technology in what we do here at the bank. We just don't use it to answer the phone.
It was a shock for everyone in Olympia when Wind Up Here went out of business. It was as much a shock to us as it was to everyone in Olympia. And my first reaction was, oh no, Olympia needs a downtown toy store. And kind of my second thought was, who's going to do that? And then my third thought was, yikes, I think we could do that and we should do that. So that's when I started the communication with Alana. And that's how it all started, with that spark of an idea, like, we can do this.
And I grew up in Olympia and just know how important, growing up, the vibrant downtown was to me. So it was kind of our way of giving back and putting something good into the area. So.
I've been with the Children's Museum for 19 years, and one of the very first things that I did, I was struck in the very beginning by the fact that our community as a state capital and as a key corridor location, as well as a place that had a lot of artistic life, needed a cultural institution. And we needed a cultural institution not only for kids, but for their families as well. And so I was really excited by the challenge of creating a place in Olympia that would be a destination and would inspire lifelong learning and creative opportunities for children of a variety of ages, as well as their families and their educators. And we started as the smallest children's museum in the Northwest. We're now the largest children's museum in the Northwest. And so it's been quite a journey over those 19 years of growth. And I really wanted this facility and the museum to reflect the values of our region, as well as the creative inspiration of the many people who live in Olympia and make it a unique place.
I don't know that I chose seniors housing as a career, or it chose me, but perhaps a little bit of both. My parents started in seniors housing in 1958 when they bought an old vacant nursing home in Kelso, Washington. And all of us made our home growing up in that basement. I was born there about 2 years later. And so growing up, it didn't always seem that exciting to me because we were in it every day. But as I grew a little older, probably in my early 20s, I made a decision to follow the path into seniors housing because I felt it was something that I had at least some knowledge of and had some value, thought I could bring some value. And I did, and so I've been pursuing it ever since the age of 21.
Water Street and Aquavia are really quite different the approach is different than most restaurants that you would find in Olympia. Over the last 25 years, I've created 16,000 different dishes. We've cooked for over 1 million people over the last 25 years.
In 2004, I was contacted by the Olympia Brewery that they had some crates of glass. They weren't sure what it was, but it was stained glass, and being a glass artist, I said, sure, I'll take a look at it. And we opened up the crates and pieces of glass in the bottom, and we weren't sure what they were, but we did the jigsaw puzzle and put them back together and discovered these very spectacular stained glass windows that had been a back bar in the Merchant Cafe in Pioneer Square around 1900. And we looked for a place to put them, a place where a lot of people could see them.
The glass itself was made by the Olympia Brewing Company back around the turn of the century as a bar back for the Merchant Cafe in Pioneer Square in Seattle, which is the oldest running restaurant in the state. It had been taken down sometime in the 70s, and Bill had repaired the glass from being in boxes. It was his desire to be able to share that with the community, and so we were really honored that he thought of us and our space to be able to, display that and share this beautiful piece of artwork with Olympia again.
And the new business owner is really, really concerned with what their dream is and what they want to accomplish. And as a bank, we try to not get in the way of the dream and allow the dream to happen. Allow them to succeed in whatever business model that they want to create.